Okay, why do high achieving business owners struggle to delegate responsibility despite wanting to? Because if we can solve this problem, it increases productivity, it decreases stress, it increases scalability of a business, which ultimately leads to more profitability and well-being. So there are two key parts to a solution here. One, to have clarity in your mind, they don't see what you see. And you have to remember that. Then number two, to then deal with that is you need to frame the relationship so they are solving to first connect with what you see, not them solving independently to show you that they can add value. All right, let's now go through what causes the usual dynamic that we experience. Both parties get frustrated. On the owner, senior leader side, you get time stretched. You don't know how to establish confidence in others' decision making, which leads to agitation, frustration, these sort of things. Then on the team member side, they're frustrated that they can't make more decisions to have more impact. Their confidence drops through time. They start solving the wrong problem, which is to please, to go, is this the right answer? And then once they start solving that, that makes things worse. Okay, so what we're going to step through now is why is this problem so difficult? Why is this happening? A way to sort of zoom out of the dynamic is to look at the Dunning-Kruger effect, which is just a plot. On the y-axis we have confidence, and on the x-axis we have competence. And what the Dunning-Kruger suggests is generally there's an inflection point here when someone's competence or knowledge on a topic gets past a certain threshold, where prior to this they don't know what they don't know, and so their confidence is high, but their competence isn't high enough to realize that they don't know that much. And then it falls into the valley of despair, and then that's when you start developing real knowledge because you realize how much you don't know, and you can actually start learning on a topic. This paints the dynamic of what's happening. So if we view team members potentially sitting on this side of the curve or potentially down in the valley, and then owners are further on and senior leaders are further along the competence curve. The overarching theme here is everyone is underestimating the complexity of the problems you're solving as a business. And the owner, who has more experience in solving these problems, generally has a semi-conscious understanding of what they know. So they don't fully appreciate how much they actually know on these topics, but they also have a high belief in the potential to solve the problems because they've already solved them and they're already doing them. So what happens is they don't know how much they do know, and then they underestimate the complexity to know that. Then on the team member side, and if they're further down this curve where they probably have higher confidence than they should based on their skill and knowledge, they underestimate their potential to solve a problem because they haven't actually solved it, but they overestimate their current state, which is a higher confidence on this thing. And so what's happening here is the team member doesn't realize how much they don't know. They might understand the concepts, but haven't actually solved a lot of these problems, but think they know how to. Then on the owner and senior leader side, they're underestimating how much they actually know and how complicated the problem that they've figured out because they've just done this through a period of time. Now that's this dynamic that we now need to unpick as a team that will help everyone align in the same direction. All right, so now to wrap this up, we're going back to one, we've got to remember they don't see what you see. Number two, we want them to connect first, find the solution later. So what can we do to help support this process? Common things, and I've made this mistake a lot. Don't ask yes or no questions. So don't ask, do you know how to hire? Do you feel comfortable doing this? Yes, I do. Not good. You don't now see what they're saying. Instead, show me how you're thinking of approaching this. Explain to me how you think this will work. Start seeing what they're seeing to identify gaps up front. Other ones, don't diminish the complexity of what you do. It's like, oh, can you just go do this thing? Or this is pretty easy. Yeah, you'll figure it out when you're there. Doesn't work well. What we call, it puts them in the well, right? And you picture like when you have this map and you've solved this problem, you can see what's going on, you know how to solve it. When someone has never seen this before and they don't know what's going on, and you go, oh, just go over there and figure this thing out, it'll be easy for you, you're all good. It's like you've just dropped them in this well, it's pitch black, they have no idea what's going on, and they think, but you've just told me this is easy, I've got to come up with something or else there's something wrong with me, and then that's the beginning of the end. So don't do that, don't diminish the complexity. Instead, help them through, like, have you done this before? Okay, what are you worried about? See what they're seeing to know, are they actually going to be able to solve the problem you're asking them to do? Don't ask for an end solution. So you're also helping them not think that they have to come up with the answer. Frame it to create a two-way approach. Can you come back to me with what you're thinking about this topic? Or can you come back to me with how you're thinking of approaching it? So getting in before they even start and they're coming to you to have a two-way conversation, not where they've gone off and they think they actually have to come back with a solution, or you're going to think you're not capable of solving this. When you have that, and then you're now going to get a view of what they're actually seeing, how they're seeing it, the gaps between what they're talking about and how you would solve it, and you can address it at the right point. Otherwise, what tends to happen is they've already run off, they've gone off, and they're coming up with a solution. You're like, whoa, 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 come all the way back here. Wait, I think we've missed some fundamental things. That's a lot harder for them to receive. It doesn't feel good for you. You're like, oh God, I'm gonna have to do this again. It's gonna affect the comments. I don't wanna do this, but it's like, I've got no choice. So you wanna try and catch it earlier by doing these simple things. Show me, explain it to me. Have you done this before? How are you thinking about approaching it? And frame to have, come back to me and let's talk about how we can do this and start working through it before they run off. So just remember, they don't see what you see. Connect first, find the solution later.